Welcome everyone to the contributors meeting. I'm going to be your host today. I'm Leo, and as usual, we're starting off with triage and discussions. Let me start by sharing my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Right, let me move this right here. Right, so for last week, we had Dan and Keith for doing triage. Anything to bring up to this group, Dan or Keith?
So just one thing that I wanted to call some attention to. There's a possible regression. It's 18120 in multi-source applications. We had a couple of reports from people saying that it was working. They switched to 2.11 and it stopped working. Ishida is already working on it and has started trying to address this. But anytime we see several regression reports, something that I want to flag. So I don't think there's an action we need to take in this meeting. I just want people to be aware of it.
Okay.
And then other than that, PR activity wasn't too crazy this week. So we were able to go back and start working on a bunch of older ones as well. So no, good progress this week. We actually closed more issues than were opened, pull requests than were opened. So we made a little positive progress.
I think it went from 600 to 400 something, so good work there.
Definitely. Cool. Thank you, Dan. Kate, anything to add?
Nothing more from me. Yeah, I was going to bring up about the regression that the Ishida, Dan said that Ishida is already looking at it. So, yeah, nothing more from me.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And now we need to select the primary and secondary for next week. Any volunteers in the call? I have a lot of people in the call today. I'll add myself as primary. Any volunteers for secondary?
I can do that.
Okay, thank you, Ishita. All right, with that out of the way, let's go with the discussion section. We have one topic today from Kate and Alex, Fix UI. Do you want me to click the link or you prefer to share?
Yeah, click the link. I actually added this one just because both Keith and Alex or Alexander are both here. This is actually merged, but this was PR to create consistency in the UI and also to remove options that you don't have permissions for, so that they don't show up and then you click on them and then you get nothing. So it seems like it's broken. There was a discussion point between Keith and Alexander that I just wanted to highlight because one of the changes was to make it so that when you're deleting pods, which is a potentially destructive action, that shows up as red instead of yellow. And so Keith, were you satisfied with that discussion in the end, or did you feel like we needed additional changes there?
Oh, I just wanted to get Alexander's comments on that. I'm okay with his approach. It's just that, yeah, I'm not quite used to having different levels of warning messages. So, yeah, I would like Alexander's comments.
Yeah, I think I like the color to have 3 different kind of colors, but yeah, to be more accessible, maybe we could change the warning icon on the left to be like, so when it's yellow, it's actually a warning, and when it's red, it's something different. And for pods, it can be another type of icon if we have one, and have the same kind of pop-up. But I don't think.
So this is the one that we're discussing about exactly?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's say I'm colorblind. both look the same.
Yeah, if you're yellow.
I think for when you're deleting the application, I can understand that's more severe. Maybe it could be changed to more like a stop sign instead of an exclamation mark, right? I can understand that. If you
Maybe,
that approach instead, or
or
that
you could have,
presentation. Sorry?
instead of the exclamation, you could have skull and bones.
Or like a danger sign.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to change the icon. I don't know which one are available. Keith, if you know that, you can. I already have a branch open for other UI change, so you can just send me the icons and I can add them.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't feel like this was a showstopper. It was like, hey, if we want to add that as an enhancement, let's do it. So it felt reasonable to hit the merge. We had enough reviews on it. So yeah, maybe just for like the next one, and you don't need to, you can batch in the next one if you want, Alexander, or if you want to do a separate PR, that's fine too. Because I think like as it stands, this PR is only improvements, right? And so I don't see any downside to merging it, which we have. But as an additional improvement, if we wanted to change the icon, that sounds nice. Sounds like a nice to have. So if you want to do it, that'd be great. Okay, I think that's it for that topic then.
Cool.
And I'll mark that down in the discussion that we'll have another exploration on that, on a new icon.
Cool. Thank you, Dan. All right, so that was the discussion for the day that we had in the document. Any other discussion someone wants to bring up at the last minute?
For the multi-source regression, can someone do a short summary of what they think the issue is, or which part it's related to?
I've seen the issue, but I haven't got time to actually work on it. I could give an update, I think, next time. I don't have anything right now.
Did you were suspicious that maybe it was something to do with private repos?
Right. I just need to look at that one. Yeah.
Sounds good. So maybe we can reiterate next week, if that
Yeah,
makes.
sure.
Thanks, Ishita. Just a heads up, as we're talking about issues, I investigated last week the issues you listed here, then for server-side diff. The panic is a real issue in the code. I pushed a PR today to address the panic. This one, it seems that it's expected behavior, so I'm going to reply back to the user what exactly he's trying to do. Basically, when Argo CD apply the state from Git and you go in kubectl and changes the state, that should be invisible to Argo CD because that's a different manager. But if you change Git, the state in Git and don't sync, that's when you should see the diff. The user seems to be expecting to see diffs if they go straight in kubectl and apply and mutate the resource.
On the same property or on a different property that's
Different property. It's like, let's say they have a service, they're adding a new item in the service list, and they expect Argo CD to show the diff. But in this case, the expectation is that Argo CD don't care about mutations done by different managers in directly in the cluster. But if they do in the UI, then or in Git, then Argo CD should be presenting the diff. It's really yeah, how the diff logic is being applied based on the manager but based on the Argo CD manager or based on any other controller or human that can be mutating the resource outside of what is the desired behavior, defining it. Anyways, I'm gonna reply back to him in that ticket, but it seems to be expected behavior. And the other one, we have a PR open. We can merge whenever.
On that PR, so you basically, it looks like you just added catches to share the error. So it shouldn't prevent an error because presumably they passed some bad configuration or something. Do you know what caused? Because right now it's giving like an unable to resolve parsable type for GVK, and then
Yes.
it outputs the string.
Mhm.
I'm wondering if we can have something like, because GVK is like, do we know why that? Do we know what the cause? The cause of the error is they're passing something incorrectly. But
No, it is
but I don't know
not
what
actually.
GVK is.
That is a non-issue whenever we try to implement that diff logic based on the managed fields. The thing is that we need the GVK parser with all the definitions from all the CRDs in the target cluster. In some situations, let's say you're applying a new application that defines new CRDs. Those CRDs in some cases are not registered in our internal cache. And this is something we couldn't figure out why exactly that happens. So the CRD it's either not applied in Kubernetes, and then it will be impossible to calculate diff, because we require that definition to be able to calculate diff, or the fact that our cache, our cluster cache, is actually missing the definition, which is likely the issue. So server-side diff was one attempt to address the problem. But yeah, there is still the situation where when we want to remove the mutation webhook from the desired state, we actually have to go back and rely on that GVK. It's a bit complicated to explain.
What does the GVK stand for?
Is group version kind. Every Kubernetes resource has a GVK, which is the group version kind. So, and when you define a CRD, right, like when you apply a new application like Prometheus controller, then there are new CRDs as part of that application, and the CRD is going to be registered in the cluster, in the Kubernetes cluster, as well as in the Argo CD cluster cache.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, that message is mainly to highlight the fact that GVK is for some reason not available in the parser. But that's mainly a hint for us to really understand which GVK is causing the problem.
Got it. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, I wanted to add just a slight. I'll do a slight review suggestion on that, just to make it clear for if an end user hits it, so that it's not as confusing. But I think you've given enough information. I'll just add it right now.
Cool. All right. Any other topics someone wants to bring up?
Just wanted to bring up Akram's PR for consistent hash with bounded loads. I think today he's on a leave, so he could discuss next time. But yeah, just wanted to share this one, and if anyone could review it or has any questions around it.
Are you familiar with this proposal, Ishita? Can
I'm
you give
still
us?
looking into this one. I'm
Sorry?
still having questions around it. Yeah. Andrew Lee from AWS has tested this with I think 500 applications. So I think they have also done a blog related to this particular sharding algorithm. So he's tested with that. There is even an enhancement for the same. I have tested the feature, but I still need to see if there's anything else. I'm still looking into the code.
So this is the PR itself.
Right.
Is there a, so what's the idea? Is to add an additional algorithm for the sharding?
Right. Yes, and there is an enhancement issue present.
I see. Interesting. Yeah, that would be great if he can present that in the next meeting. Consistent hash logging mode. Interesting. All right. Thanks, Ishita, for bringing that up. All right. So, any other topics? If not, I'll give you this few minutes back in your day, and see you all next week. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Leo.
Thank you.